Morning folks, it's Wednesday the 7th of February. Last night was like -4, it was pretty full on, and all the snow that we had, what was it, Monday, Tuesday anyway, all that is all frozen, but having had a bit of a study of the old weather forecast, I happen to know we're in for a big thaw tomorrow. It's going to get up to like 5 degrees. It's pretty picturesque at the moment. I'll just spin you around. It looks kind of cool. Oh, looks very posh. But I thought I would get up here and do some preparation for the thaw coming and get the roads sorted out and everything. But the issue I've got with that, or the thing that I hadn't thought through with that, is everything's rock hard. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to work on. This might take a coffee to formulate a new plan. Right, I've just been thinking to myself, bloody hell, I'm freezing. And then the next thought is obviously, Bob, you know, you're alright, sort yourself out, you're not freezing. But if this will focus, I don't know if it will. Is that even working? I don't know if you can see, but it is -2, so technically it is bloody freezing. I've cheated. Fire and kettle first. I don't know about you, but I'm glad I didn't bring any gloves today. I always find that once people start trying to artificially warm their hands up with gloves and things like that, when you're trying to shovel frozen shit in the snow, it just takes away from the experience. I don't know if I can express to you how much I wish I had some gloves on right now. Anyway, let's see if we can get this to show up. Today's Wednesday, and let's see if we can get that to show you. Is that working? I can only guess. It says, BBC says, it's going to be 6 degrees tomorrow, which is, 6 degrees is a full-on thaw. Now, that's going to be really handy, because currently working on things like this is awkward, everything's really frozen. But the second reason it's going to be handy is because, quite frankly, this stuff is a bit tricky. And to put it mildly, if it doesn't thaw, certainly thaw by tomorrow, it's going to be difficult to open for the weekend, because yeah, I can get up and down here, but I don't know about everybody else. Right, well, do you know what, I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon sorting out holes in the road. Not very glamorous, I know, but it needs to be done. And let's hope that some thaw comes tomorrow and warms the job up, and at least makes everything a little bit more workable. Here we are early Thursday morning, and a thaw out has begun, which is as predicted by BBC, but it's definitely nice to see. It just makes life so much easier. I am just going to put out my buckets now. Apparently, as the day goes on, and certainly as we get towards sort of 12 o'clock, the temperature's supposed to come up another 2 degrees, which is just going to make life even easier. I'll put my buckets down in prep. Still got a couple of holes that I need to fill up, but yeah, may the temperature continue rising. Having the thaw come through is ace news, obviously, you know, helps me massively. The other thing that you kind of have to take into account for this time of year is you are going to get, you know, you're going to get the odd time when it freezes and everything, and of course we don't want that to happen at the weekend. But something else to think about, that, well, for me to think about, is, well, I'm walking on it now, at this time of year, when you get all these, pointed behind me, when you get all these brown needles come down, and you've had that come down all autumn, and then obviously there's no more left to come down, all we're going to get now is spring coming through for fresh ones. I'm not going to have to worry about having a drop like this until next autumn. But when you get to this time of year and it's wet, you just get like this sludgy, needly stuff, which is for the car park is a complete pain in the arse. it just makes the car park road really sloppy. Now, one thing that I found last year that it's very labour intensive, but it is really helpful. I've got, look, there's one there. You see this pile of just like lump of what's gone hard now, drained through and gone hard. This is where I scraped back all of the needly stuff off of this car park road and did put it into various different piles. There's another one over here. Scraped it all back and then shoveled it up into all these different piles. There's another one I've done through there. And it reveals the hard road underneath. Now, it's not something that I look forward to doing, but do you know what? The way it is all sloppy and everything today, it's looking like that's going to be the job to do. Labour intensive and probably will mean not much filming for the rest of the day, but I think it's worthwhile doing, so I'm going to grab some tools now. Right, just grabbed a quick sit and a mouthful of Monster, and just to be honest with you, I've just had a scan through Instagram and Facebook, but coffee break or Monster break, whatever you want to call it. I've just had a quick break. So what I'm doing at the moment is just moving all this, it's needles, that's essentially just moving it all to the side, because underneath here you've got, rather than soppy mud, you've got actual stone, and it's just, do you know what, is it going to make a lot of difference? Does it make any difference to me in my car? No, zero. But it will help out the like van drivers and stuff like that. And it is just nicer to drive on. Now, much as I would far prefer to be spending my day working on the tracks rather than kind of raking and shoveling shit around, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But what I'm thinking of is this is a phenomenon that's going to happen every autumn, and what I'm thinking is next autumn coming, it doesn't help me now, but at least you know, you win or you learn, and so today's a learning experience. Next autumn coming, I think I'm gonna just one sort of nicer day, once I can see that it's like this and all the needles have pretty much fallen, I think I'm gonna hire a leaf blower, and just on a nice day before it all gets like wet and soggy like it is now, because we did have a couple of those in October time, November time, this last year gone. I'm just going to bite the bullet and hire a leaf blower and, you know, just blow them all out of the way, because I reckon it'd save this job. Because to be honest, all my problems, all the things that are a pain, is mulchy half rotting needles. So yeah, you win or you learn. Today's a bit of a learning experience, but hey, it's, you know, it's better to have it like this. Like, as you can see, there's stone underneath here, and you don't want to, you'd rather be driving on the actual stone than on this squishy stuff. And to some extent it's just about customer experience, isn't it? You know, trying to make it a bit nicer for everyone. So we'll crack on and get this done. I'm feeling like, now that I've had that can of pop, I'm feeling like it's borderline time for a sandwich, but we'll give it half an hour extra and then have a bite. Isn't it awesome when your wife calls you to remind you about something and you're like, oh yeah, dude, good thinking, I do need to remember about that. But that doesn't mean that just because your wife will call you to remind you about things, that there aren't other things that you need to remember for yourself. The example being, my wife rang like maybe an hour ago to say, hey dude, remember we've got that thing next week and you need to make sure you've got the clothes washed that you want to wear. Awesome, because I probably would have forgot. But what I've had to remind myself is, what she wasn't saying is, hey dude, I'm wondering how many different Fox t-shirts you can wear in the space of 3 days, because I always think it's so rad that you wear Fox t-shirts all the time and remind me of mountain biking when we're away from mountain bikes. So yeah, I might have to wash a variety of clothes Might even have to wash some adult clothes. Oh, I'm so knackered and that right now. I can't even talk. That's not the point I was trying to make. Well, hang on, no, it is kind of the point I was trying to make. So, tomorrow morning, I've basically just got more manual labour stuff to do on the road and get that all tidied up and ready for the weekend. So I'm thinking that I'm going to upload tonight, a Thursday night. I know I don't usually, but hey, let's try it out. And what I'll do is tomorrow afternoon I'll do a Facebook Live video on the phone and just give you some updates. We'll give you a bit more of an update for the weather for the weekend, an update on the tracks as I'm out checking them tomorrow. So we'll call this one a vlog for now, and I'm going to go and lock up and get back and pick my daughter up. So if you made it this far, congratulations, and I'll catch you at the weekend. See you in a bit, folks.